Hi, everyone. My name is Andrea Kern. I'm the Director of Strategic Initiatives for the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs, and I'm so excited to be here today to present this new opportunity for our Main Street communities. We are really excited about this program because, as you'll see, it's not only focused on preservation and protecting and celebrating a community's buildings, but also on the community itself through our partnerships with Indiana Landmarks and Indiana Humanities. This program will provide eligible Indiana Main Street communities with an additional tool in their economic vitality toolbox that will help stimulate local economies using an innovative funding mechanism to preserve downtown historic buildings. So why now? Extensive research has overwhelmingly proven that historic districts are more resilient during economic downturns. A priority for our agency and our state is economic development, and historic preservation can truly act as an engine for economic growth. Communities have used historic preservation as an economic development strategy towards job creation, creating new businesses for private investment, and have seen their property values increase. Rehabilitating historic properties also creates jobs in construction, manufacturing, transportation, utilities, retail, and service industries. These areas are often see a corresponding increase in household income and spending, which further strengthens the local economy. These benefits directly impact local economies while aiding the physical transformation of downtowns and creating destinations for tourists and local residents alike. And you'll see that the program includes multiple capacity and leadership building opportunities through our partnerships with Indiana Landmarks, Indiana Humanities, and Main Street America. So when creating this program, we set out with several objectives. We wanted to create a foundation and framework for a sustainable historic preservation ethic. So you'll see lots of sustainability pieces built into this program. We want to rehabilitate and preserve historic buildings. We want to build the capacity to support our local Indiana Main Street organizations and small businesses. We want to ensure that this is a model that can be replicated over and over again. We want to supply a programmatic model and purpose for local collaboration. So let's get into it. So after the pilot community is selected, the Main Street organization will sign a memorandum of understanding with OCRA. We are putting a lot of emphasis on this program being a way for a Main Street organization to grow. This will all be detailed in that MOU at a later time, but just to hit some of the high points that will be included is that the Main Street organization will apply to level up their organization upon meeting IMS expectations and before the end of the 2-year pilot program. So if the chosen pilot community is already a nationally accredited Main Street organization, this would not apply. But if they are an ODAN or an IAMS community, they would have that included, that they would apply to level up their organization before the end of the pilot program. The board members or staff will act as a liaison between the local unit of government, OCRA, Indiana Landmarks, the local community foundation, and the building and business owners. A majority of the board members and all staff are expected to attend all OCRA and or Indiana Landmarks events related to the program. The organization will undergo and implement transformational strategies or another capacity building training program with OCRA and National Main Street. They will lead the fundraising efforts related to this program. They will coordinate tours of the finished project with state representatives and their U.S. House member upon project completion. And they must have a willingness to mentor future program participants. So I want to stress that we are choosing that this is a pilot program and we are choosing a pilot community. So we know there's going to be hiccups along the way, and we want to work those out so that when we do roll this out and keep the program in the future, that we know what obstacles are there and so that we can overcome them. And we want this pilot community to be a mentor for those future participants. So the money, OCRA will be providing CDBG funds for this effort, $2 million over 2 years, and $1 million in the first year and $1 million in the second year. We are going to establish minimum improvement benchmarks for each building to ensure that these projects are transformational. So we're not looking to fund signage or general maintenance. Truly want to see some transformational preservation projects in your community. And here's one of the first big sustainability pieces for us. The MainStreet organization, along with their community foundation and local unit of government, will be responsible for raising a 10% match, which is $200,000 for this project. That could include a mix of private and local funds, and that match must be raised before the end of the 2-year pilot. So you do get 2 years to fundraise that full amount. We are saying, yes, we want to invest in your community, but you need to leverage this opportunity. So we're looking for the MainStreet organization to maybe create those relationships and say, hey, the state is making a large investment in our downtown. Are you willing to match it in some way? We're hoping that the MainStreet organization will create relationships or strengthen relationships with their donors through this program. So of that 10%, 50% will be put into a long-term permanent endowment or a revolving loan fund for downtown projects. The other 50% will be supplied to the MainStreet organization for long-term sustainability. So that could be used for 2 years of funding for a staff position, helping that IAM's organization to apply for NOMs within that 2-year period. And Indiana Landmarks will work with the MainStreet organization and the building and business owners to provide training and conditions assessments for preservation projects in downtown. Indiana Landmarks is going to offer workshops with those business owners to encourage creativity and show what is possible within the Secretary of the Interior standards for preservation. And they're going to also provide quarterly education opportunities for the community on preservation topics through a coordinated effort with the MainStreet organization. So that will be 8 educational sessions, and those could be anything from downtown developmental history, local history, the heritage tourism, whatever is most needed and would be most valuable to that the specific community that's chosen. So that's the piece that we're looking to create, that community preservation ethic. So here is the other big sustainability piece for us, is that the local unit of government, along with Indiana Landmarks and myself, will assist in utilizing the Indiana State Enabling Law and Indiana Landmarks Model Preservation Ordinance to develop and adopt a local preservation ordinance, form a preservation commission, and designate a downtown local historic district within the first 18 months after they are chosen. So this is really a non-negotiable for us. We want this to be a sustainable effort and protect the state's investment in the pilot community. So preservation ordinance would be something that is created with community-guided design guidelines. So maybe the community doesn't think that it's important to, regulate paint color. And maybe it's not, but they want to protect the existing historic storefronts or the cornice line or the original materials. And so this would be a mechanism to make sure that future investment in the downtown area would be in accordance with that preservation ethic, as well as preserving the existing investment that the state is making. So we will provide a lot of technical assistance around that piece, but it is crucial to this program. So we also have our partnership with Indiana Humanities, which is going to help community leaders and residents and visitors better understand and appreciate the history of their community by engaging participants in a variety of activities that are interdisciplinary, educational, and fun. So in the first year, Indiana Humanities will provide $7,500 to fund planning efforts for short and long-term humanities efforts in downtown, and also to have an initial activation project centered around the preservation projects occurring downtown. And in the second year, they'll provide $2,500 to fund a full activation of projects and activities focused on humanities and historic preservation and rooted in that plan from the first year. This can also be used for communications and storytelling around the program. We're also going to include just a really brief link on our website that will have ideas, but it's going to be what's up ultimately up to the community on what could be the best use of these funds. So it could be like a walking tour or a plaque program. There are several other really great ideas that we've brainstormed, but we're looking for the community to come up with what's best for them. So Indiana Humanities will also provide assistance and support to the pilot community in developing their plans. They will develop a training program for the MainStreet organization to grow their understanding of humanities as it relates to historic preservation. And that program will be based on and respond to local conditions and take into account the availability of staff and volunteer time of that organization. So we have several anticipated outcomes that we really see this program coming out with. So we want to see multiple transformational preservation projects in the historic commercial district. We want that increased community preservation ethic, where the community will have a greater understanding and appreciation of the economic benefits of investing in historic preservation. We want to see that increased Main Street capacity through their national Main Street trainings, broad-based community collaborations, and the strengthened relationship with building business owners and that large-scale fundraising campaign. We also want to tell the whole story, and that's going to be possible through our Indiana Humanities partnership of their downtown. And those two really big sustainability pieces, that this effort is not just, a one-time investment in the community, but that by creating that local preservation commission and designating downtown as a local historic district with those community guided design guidelines, will protect these program investments in preservation projects, and it will ensure that future capital projects will support and align with the community's preservation ethic. We'll also have that community-funded endowment or revolving loan fund to add that long-term sustainability for investments and improvements in downtown. So we know that preservation costs more than vinyl, which is a cheap material, but very affordable for a lot of building owners, but it doesn't last, nor is it historically appropriate. So how do we help these building owners continue to do preservation moving forward? By creating this endowment or a revolving loan fund, it will allow the community to subsidize that cost for preservation projects moving forward. So who is eligible to apply to this program? Again, we are picking one pilot community, and there are 71 eligible communities that have an already listed National Register Downtown Historic District. They must be a non-entitlement community because these are CDBG funds, and they should have a Main Street organization and good standing with OCRA. So if your community is not identified on the map that's on our website and you believe that your downtown is listed on the National Register of Historic Districts, please reach out to me to confirm your eligibility. I did the best I could with the data that I had available to me, but it's possible that I missed your community. So just reach out to me and we'll look into it a little bit further. So here's the application process. The Main Street organization will submit up to a 3-page letter of interest by June 18th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, expressing why they are the best fit for this program. That application should also include letters of support from, but not limited to, the local unit of government, the community foundation, and at least 3 building owners. There is a document that's included on our website that has a lot of detail about what should be included in that letter of interest, as well as the GMS instructions for submitting that application. So OCRA, Indiana Landmarks, and Indiana Humanities will jointly select 3 finalists based on that submission and a review of the Main Street organization's 2020 reporting information. Finalist communities will receive a site visit from OCRA, Indiana Landmarks, and Indiana Humanities. Those site visits will be no longer than 2 hours and should just be an overview of what of their partnerships, the program alignment with community goals, and a high-level vision for downtown. We will give all finalists more details about what should be included at site visit upon their selection. I just want to note that we are holding these in the summer so that if needed, we can meet outside or we will have social distancing and masks will be required. So by that site visit, the local unit of government must also pass a local resolution stating their support for this program. We'll provide a little bit more technical assistance on that piece, but really it's just a resolution to say that their local unit of government is supportive of their Main Street organization applying for this program, and that they will support them in any way going forward. So here is the timeline, dates that you should be taking note of. The first one here is that on May 7th from 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern time, we're going to be having what I'm calling live office hours. It's just 1 hour for all of you to log in and ask questions, and maybe you'll learn or hear that other Main Street organizations have the same question as you. So it's just an opportunity to kind of crowdsource those questions. You can register by going to bit.ly/OKRA office hours. June 18th is when those applications are due through GMS. We will notify all finalist communities by July 2nd. And then the 3 site visit dates that you should all be holding now are July 15th, 19th, and 23rd. With 3 partners, we really worked hard on making these 3 dates firm so they are not able to be rescheduled. So those have to be the finalist site visit dates. And then on July 30th, we will announce the pilot community and have a kickoff celebration by August 11th. So that's it. If you have any questions, please first reach out to your community liaison to discuss the project, or you can connect with me to discuss project eligibility and competitiveness. If you have historic preservation questions, you can reach out to your Indiana Landmarks regional office. And so that's all. Thank you so much. I'm so excited about this program.